Good evening, everyone. This is Elsie Kerns, Wellness with Elsie, your Chaos to Clarity coach and energy medicine expert. And I'm really excited tonight because this technology, our Be Live TV show, is going to allow us to visit Monica Armstrong in her Spirit Matters studio because she's holding an open house this Sunday, October 14th from 11 to 4. And so, Monica, welcome. I can't wait to hear all about this event.
Thank you, Elsie. I'm excited to share this time with you and with any of your listeners as well. So what's happening is that I have been doing workshops for women called Women of Spirit for the last 18 months in my studio. And the whole idea is about introducing women to the feminine divine in terms of spiritual energy. And there are some amazing scriptures and sacred texts that go far back into history, all the way up to contemporary times that nobody ever talks about. So I call it a hidden in plain sight treasure. So I teach a little bit about different aspects of these, either the scriptures or these sacred texts that come from all over the world, all different time periods, but all from women. And then I take people through an experience of reflection and questioning and prayer and meditation. And then I show them a little bit of an art technique, provide them with all the materials, and I have them respond to what they just experienced in an art project. And then we have a little discussion afterwards. And of course, everybody starts out saying, well, I can't do that. I'm not an artist. And then when they see what they've done and they see what each other has done, it literally brings tears to their eyes because they realize that the creative spirit is alive and well inside and just waiting to break open.
So I think you have some of those things hanging up, don't you? Maybe
I do. I'm going to swivel my laptop here a little bit to show you some of
the. And while you're circling that around, just want to let everyone know that there's going to be door prizes every 2 hours. There's going to bring a special prize a special raffle if you bring 2 guests with you. So this is going to be a wonderful day. And of course, there's also going to be tea sandwiches, a social, and an interview with Monica by Janet Solomon around 2 o'clock talking about all this art. So where are we with show us the art, Monica?
Yep. Well, losing you. Let me see if I can move this.
Okay.
Are we back? Are we back?
We're back.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what you're seeing here, and I know you can't see any detail, but what I've done is taken 8 of the themes out of the last 18 months and grouped together the artwork that was my original response to these inspired material, and then combined it with a cluster of some of the artwork of the women who are not artists, who made beautiful things in response.
Monica just got a little frozen there, but if we...
for instance, one of the themes is Mary Magdalene.
Yes, I just was point that out over there in the corner.
That's right, yeah. The title of that particular workshop was Mary Magdalene, Apostle or Whore? Time to break that one open. And then, of course, there's a lot of material that I work with about Sophia wisdom. And you've probably, you might have heard of Sophia and you might have heard of wisdom, but you may not know they're one and the same. And that Sophia was present at creation, not created, at creation. It's right there in the scriptures. What?
Wow. Why don't we ever hear about these divine?
Well, what would that infer? That would infer that women were there first, It would infer that women are equal in divinity. It would infer that there's no second place for women. So, it's all about the agenda of the power structure, isn't it? So one of the themes was finding your voice, because Sophia is famous in the scriptures for going out in the streets and calling out the knuckleheads and saying, hey, listen up, and sharing her wisdom, and then explaining to them exactly what will happen if they do not follow wisdom. So I think we can look around the world today and see exactly what she was talking about.
Yes, and today we would use that term as intuition. If you're not following your own intuition, what it leads to for you, see if you can get your laptop to show that one picture was beautiful from the Mary Magdalene talk, as I remember specifically.
Okay, sure.
Spoke about that, and that was really an inspired.
That one. That one.
No,
can you see it?
I do not see it yet. Come back.
Let's see. Let me go this way here. Ah, here we go. This one?
I don't. Who is that? There is that.
That's Mary Magdalene.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Well, that's my idea of Mary Magdalene.
Ah, beautiful.
She's holding the energy, isn't she?
Yes, she is, and we know that the women have been holding the energy all along for Earth. Matter of fact, the Dalai Lama has said that the Western women will help heal the world. So I have a Facebook group, Women Healing Women and the World. And, we are doing that today as we see more and more women speak up. So tell us a little more about Sunday, because it's a free event for the open studio.
That's right. Oh.
Matter Studio, 2 p.m.
Right. It's in Woodbury, and it's at 54 Watkins Avenue. If you're familiar at all with Woodbury, you may know about the Colonial Diner. And the Colonial Diner is just down the street from Watkins. That's sort of our landmark. And I have a beautiful studio here that I've built over the last couple of years. And it's a drop-in kind of event. So anytime between 11 and 4, but if you want to hear the artists talk, that's at 2. And what's going to happen is that when you come in, you'll be given a little program that I've designed, and you'll go literally from group to group, and you'll look at the artwork, you'll read some of the inspired texts that we studied, and then there'll be some questions for you to answer for yourself as you are being introduced to these various wise women and their wise sayings. And so by the time that you move through the whole exhibit, you'll have taken like a little pilgrimage and visited these sacred souls for just a little bit of a time.
So, Monica, I just want to comment, a couple people here that have joined, Michelle and Supriya and Whaleren and Joyce. This is not far from you. Monica's also a spiritual director, as you are. So I think you would love coming over and looking at the art as well. So once again, Monica, tell us a little bit about your background, please, because you have a very varied background, not only as an artist, but as a spiritual director. So tell us a little more about that.
Sure. I went to art school, Moore College of Art, about 1,000 years ago. Right. And I was actually told that I would never be an artist and I should just give it up and go become a housewife. Literally, that's what my professors told me. And what I told them was, hello, I'm paying your salary. Teach me. So that was a really interesting experience because it was a women's college with 99% male faculty.
And from there?
So anyway, I eventually graduated from there with a degree in art education. And after that, I studied at the Academy of Fine Arts for about 2 years. And then eventually I moved up to Bucks County and I studied with a private teacher for, probably about 3 years. And he was retired head of the California School of Arts and Crafts in drawing and painting. And he was a Frenchman who trained at the Beaux-Arts. So I had a very broad education from lots of different points of view. But what I really learned, well, of course I learned how to draw and paint, mostly at Jacques' studio, Jacques Faber. But what I really learned was how to teach. And it was not the, let me tell you how terrible you are so that you'll feel bad about yourself form of art teaching, which is mostly what I had experienced. It was, let's find something that works and make it more, make it bigger. And that's really become my philosophy of life, both as an artist for myself, as a teacher for my students, and as a spiritual director. So I was, I had my own studio for about 45 years now. I've done many, many bodies of work. I lived in San Francisco for 5 years and I learned murals, how to do murals. I've done quite a few huge murals, like thousands of square feet, 10 stories high, half a block long, that sort of thing. It was really a blast. But I don't really do those giant things where I have to climb scaffolding anymore. So I moved from Philadelphia about 6 years ago to Woodbury to basically to be closer to my family. I have 10 siblings. So subtext, yes, I am Irish Catholic. Those are my roots. And that has been the other journey. The spiritual journey is taking what is life-giving from that tradition and then learning lots of other places that give me life and encourage and strengthen my spirit. When I was about, probably about 50, I kind of hit a wall in my painting where I felt like I wanted more. I wanted there to be more. I don't know how else to say it. And people kept coming to my shows and saying, hey, your work is really spiritual. Yeah, and I didn't have any words for what I was painting. So I went to graduate school, Chestnut Hill College, and I took a degree in holistic spirituality, which was actually a fabulous experience because it was an experience. It wasn't just read the book and spit it back. It was actually read the book, process it, create rituals, find some way to integrate it into life. After I did that, I had a choice to either continue into a further academic degree or go into spiritual direction. And so I ended up deciding to go to Shalem Institute for Spiritual Formation, which is a contemplative model. So that means that, okay, despite the fact that I'm talking right now, I actually listen a lot. I listen from within, and I listen to the person who comes to be companioned. And I listen to that third entity in the room, the Holy Spirit. And any response that I give or support that I give, really, I throw myself on the mercy and the goodness of the Spirit to be grounded in that in order to respond to whoever I'm with. And it's wonderful work. I do that one-to-one. I have a private practice. And then, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I decided, I have file cabinets full of fabulous material. And I really like to meet some new people. So I decided to start some meetup groups to be able to bring people into my studio, women in particular. Well, for one reason, I didn't really want to post my address to the world in general. So it's only for women. But that's really my mission. That's really my calling. And I have two groups. One is called Dream Time. And once a month we meet and talk about dream work. I'm really good at helping people understand their dreams. It's just this strange thing. I've studied often really funny. I really like that work. And then this other group, Women of Spirit. So part of what this whole open studio is about is introducing this group and what we do to a broader audience, and hopefully to build the group so that it's already starting to form into a little bit of a community. Because here's the thing, when you are inspired and you are being creative, and then you share about that, it creates a bond of honesty and depth that's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It just cuts through all the nonsense, and there's like no, oh, I'm shy, I'm introverted, I'm.
So you're freezing a little bit on us again.
Tiring with each other. We're just in awe of each other. And that's a beautiful thing. So you get to know people from their best side.
Well, and from their heart side, from their creative side. So you're really combining, as you said earlier, your spiritual work with your artwork and getting people to engage in that together. And by the way, Joyce, you're on this. You also went to that program at Chestnut Hill College. So you would have something in common with Monica.
Definitely.
Just want to remind everybody that there's door prizes every 2 hours.
Every hour.
Every
hour.
You know, there'll be other raffles, and I understand you're going to serve tea sandwiches and tea.
Yes, it's going to be a real ladies' tea party. There'll be little tables, and unfortunately, I don't have enough china for everybody, but everything else will be like a little tea party so that you can sit down and actually chat with each other and you know, look over your little notes and, you know, just spend some time in a really sacred environment where you're safe, you're warm, there's beauty, and there's something to think about other than what's been going on in the world right now.
I've been in your studio, and I would wholeheartedly agree that it's a sacred space. And before we end tonight, Monica, I'm going to step out on the limb a little bit here, because I know that you recently lost your special companion, Bijou.
Bijou, yes.
I don't know if you have a picture close by that you can show us, but
I do.
Oh, good, because it was such a beautiful picture that you did after his passing. And I know that you're also doing that for other people, if they've had a loss that's been deep and personal to them as well. So let's find Bijou's picture, because it's something I really love.
Now you're going to see the messy side. Ooh, the messy side of my studio now.
That's okay. We're with you.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can put this up somewhere here. Let's see. Can I put this here? Let's see. I don't understand. Okay. I think I have to go this way. Nope. That's it.
There we go. So hold it up.
Let me just hold it up here.
Oh, okay, great. Now bring it back a little bit to you. There you go. That's perfect. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. That's Bijou. In spirit.
She was old. She was a black standard poodle, and funny and sweet and just my best buddy. And I was so sad.
Yeah.
So I missed her so much.
How long were you together?
Pardon?
How long were you together?
13 years.
Oh.
Hip to hip. And I was, you know, just struggling with the grief. And one day I just decided I was going to do her spirit portrait. So this is really about who she was as a personality. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
She was a character. She was just a character.
Yeah.
Light and color and sweetness. So I actually got so much comfort from doing this that I decided to offer the opportunity to other people who wanted to have a spirit portrait of their pet, because, you know, photographs, well, first of all, she was a black dog. taking a picture of a black dog is pretty much a waste of time.
Yes.
You know, you don't really get to see very much in a photograph. But any photograph, really, most of the time, it doesn't really convey your feelings and your affection and their personality. So what I'm offering to do is to meet with people who are grieving their best companion, and you know, hear their story and hear about that wonderful unconditional love that they experienced. And then they would give me some pictures and photographs and stuff, and then I would do a spirit portrait based on my understanding that they've given me. And then we would meet again, and as a spiritual companion, kind of go through that grieving process and come to some healing and resolution. And then they have this beautiful spirit portrait of their best pal.
And I just want to remind people that even if you're not local to the New Jersey area, Monica meets you on Zoom and have you send the pictures. So there's, you know, no boundary as to who she can help and where you are.
That's right. And actually, when I was a muralist, I did many gigantic murals with jungle themes. And so I have actually been painting animals for 25 years in great detail, life size, and so on. And so I love painting animals. This is another one, just so that you know it's.
That's beautiful. This is somebody's cat. It's not, I don't think it's your cat. We got your, go ahead.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a little better there. And she's
I
on her little pink pillow, and she's got her necklace on.
Yeah. Beautiful. Looks like she's really alive.
Yep.
The eyes, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, if anybody is sadly going through this experience, I'll tell you what got me started on it was I was working one day and I was just so sad. I had no energy for anything, and I just couldn't talk myself into working that day. And I thought, I'm just going to goof off and watch Netflix. So, so there were so many shows and movies that are just horrible, murder, you know, dreadful. Blah. And I happened across this movie, Coco, which is a Disney movie. And I'm generally not a big Disney person, but I had heard some nice things about it. And it's a story of a boy who crosses over to the land of the dead. He's looking for his father who's passed away. And of course, it's based on the Mexican culture of this, you know, brightly colored festival, the Day of the Dead, when the spirits of the loved ones come back. Well, it turns out, and I really wasn't aware of this, that one of the ways that that's part of the culture is that you keep pictures of your beloved, you know, people and whatever, and you have these little altars and you offer fruit and flowers and so on and so forth. And so as long as you remember them, they exist on this other side and they can come back that one day of the year. Well, this little boy had a dog who followed him over. And this dog was kind of a ratty little street dog. But when he went into the spirit world, his true nature, this big heart, this generous nature, this loyalty came forward. And so he ended up at the end of the story. Of course, he was a bit of a hero, as all dogs are. And he was brightly colored and in the way of that Mexican coloration and design and so on. So I said, well, I'm going to make one for Bijou because I want her to be on the other side and I want her to visit me once a year at least. And that's how this started. And it turned out to be just a very healing thing and a very joyful thing. And every time I see this picture, it just really makes me smile and laugh. Whereas when I see a photograph of her, it makes me sad because I won't see her in that way again. But I can see her this way and remember her this way. So that's the story of Bijou Spirit Portraits, my new little venture, my little side thing. my
So
offering.
in addition to everything else, you can talk to Monica about that if you have a special pet that you've lost. But
Mhm.
come on out this Sunday,
This Sunday.
14th, 11 to 4,
Mhm.
Spirit Matter Studio, 54 Watkins Avenue. And I've put all that information up on this Be Live, as well as Monica's phone number if you have any special questions. There's also a link that will take you and tell you all about the event this Sunday as well. If you have other questions, don't hesitate to call her. So, Monica, thanks so much for sharing all about your studio, what you've done with your students, and what you plan to do this Sunday. And also, as I said, I stepped out a little bit of a limb because I know that's still a tender place for you, but I'm so glad you choose portrait with us.
Thank you, Elsie. And I have to also just thank you for the bits and pieces that I've managed to learn from you over the last year and a half since we've gotten to know each other better. And I literally was practicing my tapping this morning when I got up and
Good, great.
releasing things and gathering things and all of that. And I really, everything that you do, your work is so beautiful. And I feel like it's such a privilege to know you and to work with you as we can.
Well, it's certainly mutual. So this is Elsie Kerns, wellnesswithelsie.com, and Chaos to Clarity if you need some coaching, or Eden Energy Medicine. That's one of my specialties as well. Okay, everybody, we'll look forward to seeing you Sunday down at Spirit Matters Studio in Woodbury.
All right.
Okay, good night, Monica. Good night, everybody.